Your voice level is optimum. Is that so, Vedant?
Yes, sir.
So we are going to start with the next experiment in line, and is belt friction. However, we are going to first define what do we understand by friction. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
In theory, we have a unit titled friction where we will be solving various problems which involve frictional forces. We require whatever we learn about friction here to solve problems there. So therefore, I won't be repeating this in the class as I said. So let us go ahead. Let us perform a thought experiment. You have a tabletop which is shown by this, and on top of that you have a duster. On the top face of the duster, a force P has been applied, and you are going to pull that duster by effort F. Are you able to imagine this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Question. What is the maximum value of F required? What is the maximum value of F possible till which the duster won't move from its position? देखो अब एक ही क्वांटिटी को मैं अलग अलग नजरिए से डिस्क्राइब करने वाला हूँ. So I will write down maximum value of maximum value of F. Just give me a second. Okay. So maximum value of F up to which up to which the duster does not slide on tabletop. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
This is the question that I am asking. The second question that I will ask is very similar to this. What is the minimum value of P? Minimum value of F at which duster starts starts sliding
Sir, can you please repeat? I had some network issues.
over the table. Yeah, 1 minute. I hope you are able to see what I am writing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So these are the two questions that I have asked you now. We are doing a thought experiment where we have put the duster on a table which has force P applied on the top surface, and you are pulling the duster with force F. And the question that we are asking is question number 1. What is the maximum value of F up to which the duster does not slide on the tabletop? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So you go on increasing F systematically from 0 till that value. जिसके बाद, if you slightly increase the force F, then the duster is going to start sliding on the table. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is that value? Is the first question asked. Second question asked is what is the minimum value of F at which duster starts sliding over the table? Are you with me? Just give me a second. Restart 1 minute. So these are the two questions that I'm asking. Do you understand that in answer to both the questions is same? For example, if I go on increasing this F from 0 and let us say at F equal to 100 Newton, the duster is about to slide on the tabletop. So up to 100 Newton, it is not going to slide. 100 plus something and it starts sliding. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And let us say uh, that 100 plus that 100 that plus something is very small, so you can say that the answer
100.
and 6 action is almost same. Happy? Second question and
Yes,
almost
sir.
same with me. So what am I looking at? I am looking at
Yes,
either
sir.
the maximum value of force F up to which the duster does not slide on the tabletop, or I am looking at minimum F at which the duster starts sliding over. The condition that is described in first question is called as impending motion. Impending motion. Am I looking at? I am looking at answer condition. So what do we mean by impending motion? The motion is just about to begin. To begin.
Yes, sir.
And the condition expressed in the second question is commencement. And in the second question, we say that the motion has commenced, whereas in the first question, we are saying that motion is we are saying that the motion.
Yes, sir.
Now, are you hearing the construction noise? Please let me know. Vedan?
Hello, sir.
Vedan, yeah, are you hearing the construction noise?
Actually, I'm not able to see the screen right now. I think there's some internet issue at my end. Can I rejoin the meeting?
Can rejoin. So till that time, I will ask. Priya, Priya Mukherjee.
Yes, sir.
Tell me two things. One, are you hearing construction noise?
So actually your voice is breaking
Right?
and I'm also not able to
So,
see your
there is-
content. It's showing Dr. Amrit Joshi is sharing the share content.
Oh, is it? My voice. Okay, so just give me around 5 minutes. I will change my position and I will restart the class from there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So for all those who have missed this, I will quickly explain what we are trying to do. Imagine you are doing a thought experiment where you have a tabletop and on top of that you have placed a duster. On top surface of the duster, you are applying force P and then you are trying to pull this duster away with the force F. And we are interested in answering two questions. One, what is the maximum value of F up to which the duster does not slide on the tabletop? Or what is the minimum value of F at which the duster starts sliding over the table? So both the questions, they narrate the same quantity F. That's what we discussed till now. However, the condition described in the first question is called as impending motion. Are you with me?
Yes.
So what is impending motion? Impending motion is the situation when motion is just about to begin. Happy?
Sir.
Okay. I think Vedan, still there is some issue there. So I will ask someone else to unmute. Maybe Sakshi. Sakshi, can you unmute yourself? Roll number 1, it seems.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let us have interaction and then we will proceed. Now I am going to ask you few allied questions. Question number 1. Uh, what do you think? What will be the value of F if P equal to 0? By the way, what is F? F is the maximum, F is that value of force at which the duster is about to slide over the table. So you increase the F just beyond that and the sliding is going to occur. A sliding is going to commence. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how much will we have if P is 0? What do you think?
0.
Yes, you are right. We will answer that question. So to understand this question in itself, first let us try to understand who is going to resist this F. This F will be resisted by frictional force between the bottom of this duster and top of this table. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So I call that force as frictional force FR. F superscript R. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And what is FR? FR is the maximum frictional force that can be generated between the bottom of the duster and top of the table. Why maximum? Because you increase the value of F beyond that, then the FR required means FR maximum will not be sufficient to stop the duster from moving towards right. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So when the motion is impending, that means for the value of F at which the motion is about to be commenced, at that time, can we equate this F and FR? Yes, F will be equal to FR. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
When the motion is impending motion. So F की value इस तरीके से है, you slightly increase the value of F and motion is going to get commenced. So in that case, that value of F must be equal to maximum frictional resistance that can be offered between the surfaces. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how much is F? Is like asking how much is the maximum frictional resistance Fr that can be produced between the two surfaces if P is equal to 0. And when P is equal to 0, the frictional resistance between frictional force that can be produced between the two surfaces is 0. That's what we are trying to say. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have answered this question. I'm going to ask you why, but for time being, let us judge our intuition or let us try to understand how much we know about friction in 11th and 12th from 11th and 12th standard physics. So what you have said is absolutely correct. So whenever your P is 0 here, the force required to cause the sliding will be slightly greater than 0. Because there cannot be any frictional resistance or there cannot be any frictional force that can be offered between the two surfaces. So maximum frictional force that can be offered between the two surfaces is 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, imagine if P is doubled. Let us say P was 10 Newton and then the P was made 20 Newton. What happens to F? So let us say case 1 where P was equal to, let us say, 10 Newton. Then that P now becomes equal to 20 Newton. So in these two cases, if I calculate the value of F, what can be the relationship between them? Can you tell me? So
So
what?
direct relation will be there.
Yes, direct relationship will be there. So here, if F is equal to F1, let us say, then what will be the value of F here? Tell me. 2F1? Yes, yes. So bang on, our intuition and whatever we have learned till now is fine. It's correct. So therefore, when I make P equal to 20 Newton, I'm going to require more force or twice the force to start sliding of the duster over the tabletop. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have answered this question. What happens to F if area is double? Now this is an interesting question. Imagine that I have a duster of same length but twice width. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
तो क्या हुआ है? तो area in contact is now doubled and you still have force P acting here. So imagine that P is 10 Newton. P तो 10 Newton ही है. However, area पहले था, let us say A1, and now the area has become twice A1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Area in contact. Area in contact with tabletop of the duster has become twice. What can you say? If F in this case is equal to F1, force required to commence sliding is F1. What will be the F here?
F1 by 2.
No, here you are not correct. You must have learned in the friction chapter that the frictional force required is independent of area.
Right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it is F1 itself. I hope everyone remembers that. The frictional force required to commence the sliding, maximum frictional resistance that can be offered between the surfaces, is not dependent on the area in contact. ये आपने पढ़ा होगा. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now once we answer these three questions, can I say something about the friction in terms of a mathematical relationship? Answer is yes. What can I say? Tell me. F which is equal to Fr, that is maximum frictional resistance, that frictional force that can be offered between the surfaces, is directly proportional to P. क्या मैं ऐसे बोल सकता हूँ?
Yes, sir.
When P is 0, this is 0. When P is doubled, this gets doubled. However, it is not at all proportional to A. So can I write it as A raised to 0?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, I can write Fr, that is maximum frictional force that can get generated, that can be generated between the surfaces, is directly proportional to P. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, can you slightly give me the better observation than this, or better relationship than this? What is P? Now let us try to understand what is P. P क्या है? बोलो. How do you
It is
define P? It is
the pressure.
no, it is a force. हमने force लिखा है ना. But what is P? What is the description of P?
The force acting on the body, tangentially on the body.
Is it acting tangentially?
Sorry, perpendicularly
Perpendicular to what?
to the surface
Which surface?
of the object.
Which object? There are two objects here. One is tabletop, another is duster.
The duster.
No. P is, if you can see, it is acting perpendicular to the common surface in contact. Duster और टेबल का जो surface in contact है, इन दोनों को perpendicular है. Are you with me?
Yes, yes, sir.
So what is the description of P? P is the force which is perpendicular to common surface between table and the duster. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Let me show its front view now. The front view of the duster is this way and front view of the table is this. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now you are applying P here. How does table react? Table is going to react in this fashion. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And in this particular case, N is going to be equal to P. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because the duster and table, they are not moving in y direction. So algebraic sum of all the forces in y direction must be equal to mass into acceleration in y direction. Mass in acceleration in y direction is 0. Summation Fy must be equal to 0. Therefore, N must be equal to P. So therefore, instead of writing it as P, can I write it as N?
Yes.
Where N is the normal reaction. Normal to what? Normal to the common surface, normal to the surface of contact. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, can you even make this equation better? Yes, by specifying constant of proportionality. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And what is the constant of proportionality? We call it as coefficient of static friction. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Coefficient of static friction. Happy?
Yes, sir.
And this equation that we write relates maximum frictional resistance that can be generated between the two surfaces to the normal reaction which is normal to the surface in contact. इन दोनों के बीच में रिलेशन है through coefficient of static friction. Why do we call it as coefficient of static friction? Because we are writing this law when the motion is impending. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Impending का मतलब होता है कि मोशन अभी तक चालू नहीं हुई है and we are writing down the equation. So it is as if there is a static equilibrium. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, coefficient of static friction. We will soon learn something called as coefficient of kinetic friction. So at that time, it is but obvious that there is a relative motion between the two objects. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but अभी तो हम ये लिख रहे हैं coefficient of static friction. Now, if this is this equation is called as law of friction. क्या बोलेंगे इसको?
Law of
Law of
friction.
friction. If this is the law of friction, which is obtained based on the experiments, if you perform the experiments, you can prove that question number 2 and question number 3, their answers are correct. हमने क्या बोला था? As P gets doubled, that means as normal reaction gets doubled, the maximum frictional resistance that can be offered between the surfaces also gets doubled. So there is a linear relationship between normal reaction and frictional resistance that can be offered. Linear है. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
मतलब ऐसे तो नहीं होगा कि आपने नॉर्मल रिएक्शन को डबल किया तो मैक्सिमम फ्रिक्शन दैट कैन बी ऑफर्ड बिटवीन द सरफेसेस गेट्स क्वाड्रापोल्ड. ऐसे नहीं होगा. आर यू विद मी? लीनियर रिलेशन है.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, what happens to F if area is double? It remains unaltered. ये दोनों observations experimental observations. There is no analytical logical proof to it. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, this law of friction is based on the experimental observations. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Experimental observations. Okay. Now, this is fine. We have learned this law of friction in 11th and 12th standard physics. Everything seems okay. Now, we are going to start asking a question why. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So question number 1, how much is F if P equal to 0? That means what is the maximum frictional resistance that can be produced between the two surfaces if P is 0 or N is 0? The answer is 0, but why? Why should it be 0? Any clue? Yes, go ahead. Yes,
I don't
Sakshi.
know, sir.
Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to observe, of course, as a thought experiment, the surfaces that are in contact with one another under microscope. If you observe microscopically, do you expect that both the surfaces are going to have undulations?
Yes.
So none of the surface is perfectly smooth. Therefore, it is going to have undulations. So this is the bottom surface of duster. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Bottom surface of duster. It is going to have undulations. This is the duster. This is the thickness of the duster or whatever, height of the duster. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the tabletop also is going to have undulations. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So this is top surface of a tabletop. Okay. Now, what can be the cause of friction? Why should there be the frictional resistance along this common surface in contact? Frictional resistance is always offered along the common surface in contact. Why should there be frictional resistance? Frictional resistance is possible only and only when crests and troughs of the bottom surface and top surface of table, they get interlocked. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
ये दोनों surfaces के crest and troughs जब एक दूसरे में interlock होंगे तो ही तो frictional resistance पैदा हो पाएगा. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
What is going to cause interlocking between the troughs and crests of bottom surface of duster and tabletop? Any force which is compressive in nature first and which is perpendicular to this surface. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
तो अब जरा देखो ये P अगर inclined रहता तो उसका सिर्फ normal component to the common surface is responsible for interlocking of crest and troughs. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
For example, if P would have been this way, तो इसका सिर्फ normal component to this common surface is going to ensure that there is enough interlocking between the duster bottom surface and tabletop surface. However, the component parallel to the interface is going to help sliding. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, we are only interested in normal reaction. Now, do you understand why are we interested in normal reaction? Because only that component of P is reflected in normal reaction, which is perpendicular to the common surface of contact. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So therefore, we do not write law of friction in terms of acting force P. Instead, we write it in terms of normal reaction, because that normal reaction captures only that component of P which is perpendicular to the common surface in contact and which is responsible for interlocking of crests and troughs. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So question number 1 is automatically answered. If there is no P equal to 0, then N is also equal to 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
The moment P and N pair is 0, that means no doubt there are crests and troughs at the bottom surface of duster and tabletop, but they are not interlocked. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
There is no tendency of interlocking at all. Somebody will say, no, this duster has mass M, so it is going to produce force mg, but then that mg needs to be counted as P. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So when I say that there is absolutely no force P, then there cannot be interlocking and then there cannot be any frictional resistance offered between the surfaces. So are we satisfied by the philosophical explanation of question number 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. Now let us try to understand question number 2. Question number 2, you don't have any logical explanation for that. As you double the value of P, therefore the way in which the crest and troughs are interlocked gets better. But why it should be linear? Why should maximum frictional force offered be double? डबल ही क्यों होना चाहिए? 4 times क्यों नहीं? 1.5 times क्यों नहीं? इसका आंसर कुछ नहीं है, इसका आंसर सिर्फ एक्सपेरिमेंट है. With me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, point number 2 has only experimental proof. There is no philosophical explanation. It happens so experimentally. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now let us try to understand point number 3. What happens to F if area is double? Now let us try to look at what exactly is happening. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So imagine that I am drawing the plan of the duster. Duster का मैंने plan draw किया है. This is the length of the duster and this is the width of the duster. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And imagine that there are n number of crests in this area. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So n number of crests along L. So ये कितने crests है? N. And there are n number of crests, m number of crests along B. Are you with me? So how much
Yes.
is this count? M. How much is this count?
N.
N. So total, how many number of crests are prevalent in this area L into B? L and L into B corresponds to how many crests?
M into N.
Pardon?
M
M.
into N.
M into N. Okay. Now I make this B twice. So B को मैंने अगर twice किया, so what happens? Tell me. The area becomes twice. So this is now 2B. This is L. So still along this line you are going to have how many number of crests? Batao?
N.
N. So these are N. And along this now, how many number of crests are you going to have?
2M.
So L into 2B or 2 times L into B. this corresponds to how many number of crests?
2 into m into n.
2 into m into n. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this m into n crests, they are इंटरलॉक. ये डस्टर के हैं, उतने ही टेबल के होंगे, वो एक दूसरे में इंटरलॉकिंग उनका हुआ है. दिस क्रेस्ट्स ऑफ डस्टर हैव बीन इंटरलॉक्ड विद द ट्रफ्स ऑफ टेबल. लेट अस से under what force? Each of the crest here will be interlocked with the trough of the table under the force which is equal to P divided by m into n. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So this interlocking is under the force P divided by m into n. And in the second case, we have not changed P. हम P नहीं change कर रहे हैं. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So there, no doubt, there are more number of interlockings. There are twice as many interlockings than the first case. But under what force? Under the force P divided by 2 into m into n. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So what we tend to think is, as number of interactions of crests and troughs have doubled, ideally the frictional force that can be offered between the surfaces should have got doubled. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
पर वैसे क्यों नहीं होता? Because the interlocking earlier was under the force P upon m into n. Now it is under the force P divided by 2 into m into n. So therefore interlocking force has dropped down by half. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
And number of crest and trough interactions have increased by twice. So these are counterbalancing effects. Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, the third part is philosophically okay. What happens to F if area is doubled? The frictional force that can be offered remains unaffected even if we double the area in contact, provided P is safe. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have answered these three questions. Now we are going to look at how does this law of friction manifest itself as a graph. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us try to plot. Let us try to plot. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so side by side FY MTech examination is going on. So I may get some calls intermittently today. Please bear with me. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is law of friction. Now let us try to look at how does this law of friction manifest itself as a graph. So what I'm going to do, what is function of what? Friction, maximum frictional force is a function of normal reaction. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So y is a function of x. So on y-axis, what should I plot? On y-axis, I will plot dependent variable. On x-axis, I will plot independent variable. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So as n goes on increasing, fr goes on increasing linearly. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Linearly. Okay. So this graph is going to be seen something like this. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And it passes through the origin. Why does it pass through origin? As I said, when p equal to 0, n equal to 0, f is also equal to 0. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what is there on y-axis? On y-axis, we are plotting the maximum frictional resistance that can be offered between the two surfaces which are held together by normal reaction n. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, question. What happens when this line, sorry, what happens when the surfaces are lubricated? That means I have a lubrication between these two surfaces. So the friction is ideally reduced to 0. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So what happens to mu s then? Mu s must be 0. Coefficient of static friction must be 0. Are you with me?
Yes.
What does lubrication do? It fills all the crests and troughs of both the objects, and it generates a film with very less viscosity in between. So the friction ideally reduces to 0. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, in that case, how does this graph look like? Mu s is 0. कैसे दिखेगा ये? बोलो.
Sir, it will be a horizontal
Horizontal,
line.
right? So
Yes.
therefore, horizontal line corresponds to mu s equal to 0. Happy?
Yes, sir.
Second case. Imagine that when I keep the duster on the table, they become the integral object. There is a chemical bonding in between. So there is no question of sliding. Whatever force you apply, there will be the objects will break, but they will not be sliding. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, how does that line look like? It is going to look something like this. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is the case where mu s is equal to infinity. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So for any value of friction, for any real life scenario, mu s is going to lie between 0 to infinity. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as the slope of this line becomes linear and linear, what can you say? The surfaces become more and more smooth. Do you agree with me?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So this line becoming linear and linear indicates that the
Mu s
surface
is decreasing.
and surfaces are becoming smoother. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And as the slope of the line goes on increasing, it indicates that the surfaces are becoming
Rough.
more and more rough. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So more rough. I hope I'm very clear about the interpretation. Now, if I ask you to show this mu s graphically here, तो आप कैसे दिखाओगे? How will you show mu s graphically? Is mu s the slope of this line?
Yes, sir.
So
Tan
mu s
theta.
is equal to delta y upon delta x. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
But what is there on y axis? It is fr. So it is in fact delta fr divided by delta n. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Now if I set delta n equal to 1, then what is delta fr? Delta fr itself becomes mu s. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
तो अब मैं वही दिखाने वाला हूँ. See how the slope of the line is graphically. I am considering 2 points such that delta n is 1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Delta n is 1. If delta n is 1, then fr, this difference between fr at these 2 points, this itself becomes mu s. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
So this is how mu s is shown graphically. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
How will you make, if you plot this graph, how will you estimate mu s? ये graph अगर आपने plot किया, तो mu s आप estimate कैसे करोगे? You can always measure this theta. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And that tan theta is the slope of line.
Yes.
Tan theta becomes mu s. So I have shown various ways of calculating mu s from the graph. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So till now, what have we learned? We have learned law of friction. What is law of friction? Law of friction relates. क्या relate करता है law of friction? It relates the maximum frictional force which can be applied between the surfaces. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Maximum frictional force that can be applied. Just give me a second. Maximum frictional force that can be generated between the two surfaces and its relationship with n. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, this mu s is function of what? This mu s is function of materials that are in contact. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So if steel and steel are in contact, you are going to have one value of mu s. If steel and wood is in contact, you are going to have another value, so on and so forth. It is the property of materials in contact. It is also the property of the lubricating fluid if you are using any. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have understood this. Now let me ask you the another question about the friction. In which direction is the frictional force
Opposite of F.
present? Opposite of?
F. Opposite to the force applied.
Opposite to the force applied. Always.
Yes, friction opposes the motion.
Friction opposes the motion. Okay. Now imagine I will give you an example. So just give me a second. I will try to search a video so that it will make it very clear. So example का video ही दिखाता हूँ. 1 minute. हाँ. Very good. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
हाँ. Look at this video. हाँ. चलो बोलो फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स कौन से डायरेक्शन में है? अच्छा पहले फ्रिक्शन किसके बीच में है? दिस बैग एंड दिस कन्वेयर बेल्ट. इट इज गोइंग टू हैव फ्रिक्शन इन बिटवीन देम. डू यू एग्री विथ मी?
Yes, sir.
हाँ. तो फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स कौन से डायरेक्शन में है बताओ?
Downward.
How can it be downward? Otherwise this bag will move downward. No. The moment it is moving upward, that means the friction is carrying it upwards. Do you agree with me?
Yes, yes, sir.
तो फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स कौन से डायरेक्शन में है बताओ?
Upward.
मोशन कौन से डायरेक्शन में है?
Upward.
Is it opposing the motion?
No.
So बोलो अब what is the catch? Can anyone explain to me what is the direction of frictional force? I hope this example is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
So therefore the answer that we typically give, it is in the opposite direction to the motion, may not be that correct. Chalo bolo. Okay, so we are going to understand the direction of frictional force based on another thought experiment. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So let us do that. So today I think we will just understand the direction of frictional force, and then remaining discussion of the experiment we are going to do it in the next class. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So direction of friction. Now imagine that this is a platform mounted on wheels. It is moving with a velocity of 3 meters per second. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you have an object placed on top of it. This object itself is moving with the velocity, absolute velocity. It's not relative velocity. So observer is sitting in this frame. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So observer is sitting in this frame. This is X, this is Y. And the velocity of this packet is 1 meter per second. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, as these two objects are exhibiting different velocities, it is but obvious that they are sliding over one another. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
अगर स्लाइडिंग नहीं रहता तो ऐसे डिफरेंट वेलोसिटीज होते ही नहीं, दे बोथ विल मूव विद द सेम वेलोसिटी. एग्रीड?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as these objects are sliding over one another, I'm interested in finding out direction of frictional force. And that question itself is hopeless. Because now I'm going to ask you a question. Which object applies friction on which? Batao. Let me call this as object number 1. Are you with me? And let me call this as object number 2. Who is applying friction on whom? Batao. Are you able to understand my question, Sakshi?
Yes, sir.
So if object number 2 applies a frictional force on object number 1, it is but obvious that object number 1 is going to apply the same equal and opposite frictional force on object number 2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So therefore the question that what is the direction of frictional force itself is useless, it is incomplete. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
You have to ask right questions to have right answers. Right question is this: what is the direction of frictional force? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Frictional force applied by object number 1 on object number 2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Applied by 1 on 2. This is right question. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So किसने किसके ऊपर लगाया हुआ फ्रिक्शन फोर्स हमें चाहिए, उसकी डायरेक्शन चाहिए. ऑब्जेक्ट नंबर 1 ने ऑब्जेक्ट नंबर 2 के ऊपर लगाए हुए फ्रिक्शन फोर्स के हमें डायरेक्शन चाहिए. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as you want to know what is the direction of frictional force applied by object number 1 on object number 2, let us perform an experiment. Let me put the observer on object number 2. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Or let me put the observer on object number 1. किसके ऊपर observer को रखा है?
Object number 1.
So observer is moving with what velocity? बोलो. This is observer.
With the velocity of object 1.
So he is moving with velocity of 1 meter per second towards right. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with reference to observer who is situated on object number 1, what is the velocity of object number 2? So relative velocity of object number 2 with reference to 1. ये हम कैसे लिखते हैं? Velocity of
Object number 2 minus.
with reference to 1. It is V2 minus V1. So it is
Yes.
equal to 2 meter per second. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
And towards right. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So with reference to observer on table 1, object number 2 is moving towards
Right.
right. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what should object number 1 do? What should object number 1 do? It should stop object number 2 from moving towards right. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Through friction. Friction
Yes.
से ऑब्जेक्ट नंबर 1 ने ऑब्जेक्ट नंबर 2 को टुवर्ड्स राइट मूव होने से रोकना चाहिए. आर यू विद मी?
Yes, sir.
सो व्हाट इज द डायरेक्शन ऑफ फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स applied by object number 1 on object number 2? It must be towards left. Happy?
Yes, sir.
पर हमें वो चाहिए ही नहीं. हमें कौन सी डायरेक्शन चाहिए? डायरेक्शन ऑफ फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स अप्लाइड बाय ऑब्जेक्ट नंबर that's what we want. Object number 1 on 2, right? तो वो कौन से डायरेक्शन में है? It is towards
Left.
So this is the direction of frictional force applied by whom on whom? Object number 1 on object number 2. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what is your conclusion? चलो फिर और एक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ so that it becomes even better. Direction of frictional force applied by object number 2 on object number 1. So where should I situate the observer?
On 2. Object number 2.
जिसने जिसके ऊपर फोर्स लगाया है उसके ऊपर जिसने फोर्स लगाया है उसके ऊपर ऑब्जर्वर को सिचुएट करना है. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So now I am going to situate the observer on object number 2. This is the observer. With reference to this observer, which is on object number 2, what is the velocity of first object? So relative velocity of 1 with reference to 2 is how much? Tell me. V1 minus V2?
Yes.
So 1 minus 3. So it is
Minus
minus. Therefore, this velocity is towards left.
Left.
So observer who is situated on object number 2 feels that object number 1 is moving towards him. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So what should object number 2 do? It should stop it from moving towards him. Are you with me?
Friction. Yes.
So what is? Give me a second. So FR, frictional force applied by object number 2 on 1 must be towards right.
Right.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
We will do one more example and then we will make a conclusion and then we are going to stop. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Imagine that this object is moving with the speed of 2 meters per second. And this object here is moving with the speed of 3 meters per second. I am going to call this as object number 1, this as object number 2. I am interested in finding out the direction of frictional force applied by object number 1 on object number 2. So where should I place the observer?
On object number 1.
So observer is to be placed on object number 1. Are you with me?
Yes,
Place
sir.
the observer. What should I calculate then? What should observer on object number 1 observe? Velocity of object number 2. So velocity of object number 2 relative to object number 1. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
It is how much? Tell me. It is V2 minus V1. 3 minus 2. So it is 1 meter per second towards right. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So with reference to observer on object number 1, object number 2 is moving towards right with the velocity 1 meter per second. What should object number 1 do? It must resist that. So this direction must be towards left. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So what is take home message? What is the direction of frictional force? That question is hopeless. You have to specify frictional force applied by which object on the other. Happy?
Yes, sir.
So if you are talking about direction of frictional force applied by object number 1 on 2, you should find out velocity of object number 2, relative velocity of object number 2 with reference to 1, and whatever is the direction of that velocity, उसके opposite friction का direction रहता है. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now that's what we are going to do with that example which I showed. हाँ, तो ये screen दिख रहा है ना?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, तो अब जरा देखो, we are talking about this bag. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, but here there is a question of impending motion. So we will talk about this in the next class. No problem. That time I will tell you the direction of frictions. But you have to take home message is this. Take home message is when you talk about direction of a frictional force, that question is not complete because frictional force is not in isolation. It is a pair. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
तो एक फोर्स अगर राइट के तरफ होगा तो दूसरा लेफ्ट के तरफ होगा. सो द क्वेश्चन टू बी आस्क्ड इज व्हाट इज द फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स, व्हाट इज द डायरेक्शन ऑफ फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स अप्लाइड बाय ऑब्जेक्ट नंबर 1 और 2. उसके लिए आप क्या करोगे, यू आर गोइंग टू फाइंड आउट रिलेटिव वेलोसिटी ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट नंबर 2 विथ रेफरेंस टू 1 और उसके अपोजिट फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स का डायरेक्शन. हैप्पी?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with this understanding, we have now understood how to compute the magnitude of maximum frictional force between the objects. And we also did know what is the direction of frictional force applied by one object on the other. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Have a good day. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what is the take-home message for today? We have now way of calculating maximum frictional resistance between the two surfaces, two objects, and we also know the way of calculating direction of the frictional force applied by one object on the other. With this, we are going to stop here today, and we will continue this discussion in the next lab session. So have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Put your attendance in the same link. The concepts understood का जो क्वेश्चन है वहां पे सिर्फ लैब सेशन ऐसे लिखो.